Hello, friends. Namaste. Good morning or good evening, everyone. So, this is Lavanya. I live in Australia. So, I'll be the host for this session with divine blessings of Dr. Brahmashi Subhash Patriji and Swarnamala Patriji. Let us start our today's session. I would like you to welcome back to the Divine Breath YouTube channel, PSSM Australia, initiative of Pyramid Spiritual Society movement. Please do subscribe the Divine Breath YouTube channel. So this week we are starting with a new book we call The Untold Story of Sita by Dina Mariam, which will be narrated by our very own pyramid master, Surbhi Batra from Virginia, USA. So let me give an introduction about Surbhi ma'am. Surbhi Batra is a meditation practitioner and meditation teacher since 2021. She is a state licensed home daycare provider in Virginia, USA, and she pursued her master's degree in telecommunications. She is the mother of 2 teenagers. She got introduced to meditation by her family members in the beginning of the year 2021. With regular practice of meditation, she has healed many of her health ailments, including heart disease, thyroid, and cholesterol issues. She believes that meditation has transformed her life and has changed the perspective of life. Despite of her busy schedule, she finds time to teach meditation on various platforms through Zoom. She started reading the book, The Untold Story of Sita, since her daughter's name is Sia. Everyone had told her that Sita had hard married life and she should not keep her daughter's name as Sia. After she found out about this book through one of the PMC channels, she got curious to read and to learn about Sita's life from a woman's perspective. She is reading this book on 2 other platforms, and participants are able to connect with this book. Through this book, we learn about great women sages, about that time and how powerful they were, and how these women were a backbone for Sita Mata. So with this, I would like to welcome Surbhi ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Lavanya ma'am, for the beautiful introduction. I would like to thank Patri sir, Swarmala ma'am, for giving me this opportunity, and definitely a big thanks also to Sheetal Pawar ma'am for introducing me to you and to your platform, that I got another chance to read this book, narrate this book to, and reach out to so many participants here. I feel this book should be read by each and every woman, so they know how empowering they are, and every man should read this book to know how women can be powerful in their lives. So with that, I will start the book, but I think you would like to do the meditation first, right, for 5 minutes?
Yes, ma'am. So, let me share the music. 1 second, ma'am, for 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Now we can hear. Before we couldn't hear.
Can you hear now, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear now.
Okay, yeah, I just start shared music. Let's all sit into meditation masters for 5 minutes. Observe your breath. Gently close your eyes, clasp your fingers, cross the legs, sit comfortably wherever you are. Just observe your breath muscles. Okay, masters, gently rub your hands and place them on your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you, masters. Welcome all. Yes, Surbhi ma'am. So we're waiting for your wonderful session.
So before I start reading the book, I would like to say something about the author. And then I will tell you about who Ravan was. We all know who Ramji was, who Sita was. We don't know why Ravan was the way he was. And we really need to know that to understand this book better. So first of all, I will say thank you to Patri sir again. And I ask him to join his blessings with us and to bless us, and wishing everybody a happy Navratri to all of you. And I feel very lucky that we are starting this book on this auspicious day. So first of all, let me introduce the author of the book, Dina Mariam ma'am. So Dina Mariam ma'am, she lives in USA, and she began working with Interfaith in late 1990s. And she has served as a vice chair of the Millennium World Peace Summit of Regions and Spiritual Leaders held at United Nations in New York in 2000. And she did many more of these summits in the coming years. She founded Global Peace Initiative of Women in 2002. In 2008, Ms. Mariam was one of the founding members of the Contemplative Alliance, which later became called as GPIW. The purpose of this alliance is to bring the meditation teachers and practitioners in a collective effort to uplift and transform the society while caring and honoring for our Mother Earth. Because we definitely cannot grow, any child cannot grow without the mother. And so we humans, we will not be able to thrive and grow without our Mother Earth. So she thought it was very important to take care of Mother Earth as well. For over 40 years, she has been studying under Paramhansa Yogananda and has been practicing Kriya Yoga meditation. She has her master's degree from Columbia University and has served as a board member of the Harvard University. And also in 2014, she received the Nivano Peace Prize Award for her efforts in the society. So that's a little bit introduction about our Dina Mariam. And moving on to who Ravan was. Ravan was initially, he had 3 births. And so he was the gatekeeper. His original name was Jaya and Vijay. They were 2 brothers, Jay and Vijay. In this book, we will hear about, since we are only talking about Ravan, so in this in the book, they have only mentioned about Jaya. But I did some research on this, and this is what I found about his previous birth. So Narayan and Narayani, their gatekeeper was Jaya, which turned out to be Ravan in the future births. So Jaya, we will hear this story again, but to understand the concept, it's really important for me to tell you who Ravan was. So Jaya, when somebody becomes very near and dear to the authoritative person, so their ego comes. So Jaya, the gatekeeper, had started to develop some ego in him, that I am the god, some Narayan and Narayani's gatekeeper. So Brahmaputra, they were in the form of babies, and they came to meet with Narayan and Narayani. And Jaya had an ego, and he said, you are babies. You cannot come and visit Narayan and Narayani. And he kind of let go of them and insulted them. So long story short, he ends up getting a curse, because Narayan and Narayani kept on telling him, Jaya, you are getting the ego in you. We cannot have the ego in our celestial worlds, because if we have ego in the celestial world, it will affect the earth as well. But we will know how many, in the future chapters, we will learn that how many chances Narayan and Narayani had given Jay and Vijay. But there came a point where the lust also came in him. And so when the lust came, and Narayani requested him again, and this time it was not a request, it was more like a command. Jay, you need to go start your meditation. But instead of listening to Narayani, Jaya started arguing with him. And so Brahmaputra got really upset, and they gave Jaya a curse. And the curse was that you will be sent to earth for 7 lifetimes. And he begged that I cannot be away from Narayan and Narayani for 7 births. So the Narayan and Narayani also requested Brahmaputra to mellow down his curse, their curse. And so they gave him a second option. In the second option, he will be given 3 chances of birth on the earth, But this time, the 3 births, he will be a bad guy. And Narayan and Narayani will have to come to earth to, kill him so he could come back. So in the first birth in Satya Yuga, he was Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh. We all know the story about Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh. If anybody doesn't know, just tell me and I will give you a summary. And if everybody knows the story about Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh. Hiranyakashipu was the Prahlad's father. So okay. And in the second birth in Treta Yuga, he was Ravan and Kumbhakaran. So they were both Jay and Vijay. They were 2 brothers. So Ravan and Kumbhakaran. In the third Yuga, in the third birth, Shishupal and Dhantera in Dwapar Yuga. So Krishna had to come in the third birth to kill the Shishupal and Dhantavatre. And in the second Treta Yuga, Ramji had to come to kill them in the form of Ram and Sita. And in the first one, Niri Singh Bhagwan had come to kill both of them. So both the brothers. So this is the Ravan, why he was the way he was. And also, I would like to tell all of you that whoever we are, me or Lavanya ma'am or anybody here, Rama ma'am, Sushma ma'am, all of them, Sandeep sir, whoever we are a package of our previous births. I am not my individual person. You guys are not your individual person. Whatever you are package of previous births. It could be last birth, previous birth, and so on. So moving on to my story, now I'm going to start the story because we know who Ravan was, right? So my first chapter is Childhood in Mithila. Now the main characters in this book, besides Ram, Sita, and Raja Janak and Sunanama and all those basic characters that we know of, there are few other characters that I would like to introduce you to. So one is Menakshi, the second is Soma, the third is Usha, and the fourth is Rohana. All of them were maids in in Raja Janak's palace, and they came when Sita Mata got married to Ramji. All 4 of them came from Mithila to Ayodhya with Sita Mata, right? As the story progresses, Rohana goes back to Mithila because her sister was really sick. Usha leaves her body. So whenever I say leave the body, when we are in the meditative state, we all know we don't say the person died, we say the person has left the body. So Usha leaves her body and Menakshi dies, but before she dies, she asks Soma, if I take birth again, will you be here for me? And Soma said yes. So Menakshi comes in the second life, and Soma is there. So we will notice in the story, whatever fears or whatever sadness she leaves her body, she faces same fears in her previous birth. For example, if I am scared of swimming in this birth, maybe I died in the water last birth. That's why I'm scared in this birth. So our fears are also transferable from one birth to another. And sometimes our body signs are also transferred in the future births. So if I have a mole here, I might have a mole in my previous birth also. So a lot of signs were there that we will see in the story. And this book is written on the base of what Dina Mariam had in her meditation, in her visions. This is the story that has been written on. So I believe the story a lot, and it gives me a different perspective of the women. And also I learned what basically I've learned in this book is that we should be always in a meditative state. That way, when we leave this body, we are not dealing with all the fears, because everything is going to be transferable in the next birth. So the first chapter, childhood in Mithila, is told by Menakshi. So Menakshi is the maid, and Sita is yet not born. I like to give my characters the age, so you guys can tell how old this person is. That way you know the perspective of the child. So if somebody is saying the sentence, you know how old that person is. So the story is told by Menakshi, and Sita comes in her life when she's around about 23 years old. So this is about, right now she's 8 years old, Menakshi, when she started the story. So this story is told by Menakshi. She is born in the kingdom of Vidya, also known as Mithila. And she is born in a Brahman family. And here she also compares her father with Raja Janak. There are 2 only male members in her life, Raja Janak and her father. She doesn't have a mother. She's the only child. We all know, we will find out what happens to her mother in the later as I go on. So she says that her father is a holy devotee of Raja Janak, and everybody calls Raja Janak as Janak Baba. And everybody calls Sunana, Janak's wife, as Sunana Ma with regards. Everybody doesn't call them king and a queen. They always say Baba and Mata, Sunana Ma. And according to Menakshi, no chore was small or small for her dad. So if, she says that she was born in a Brahmin family, so she should not be doing mopping and cleaning. But her father had a different opinion. Her father says, as long as we are serving Raja Janak Baba, no job is to, he was even willing to mop the floors for Raja Janak. He would go anything, no chore, because we should not even discriminate between this work is for scheduled caste, this work is for high class. So for her father, no job was low or high. Janak Baba, as I said, was a very great rishi. And he was, since he spent a lot of his time in the hermitages. And he never believed that, okay, this person is rich, that's why they have a high status. Or this person is poor, so we should discriminate. He never discriminated in anybody. For Janak Baba, everybody was same. And he always thought of people from what they were from inside, not from what they were outside. Menakshi keeps on saying that mutual love relationship between the Maharaj and people was very much can be seen there. Peace and harmony was there. The palace, on the other hand, was very simple. And there was no show off, like not gaudiness, no army, no military. Very simple environment was there. The Queen Sunaina Ma helped to create this refined and elevated atmosphere in Mithila. And since Raja Janak, or Janak Baba as we say, spent most of his time at the hermitages, they never had any kids. My father, on the other hand, was a perfectionist. He wanted everything perfect in the life. He always says that his temperament, and he always had a bad temperament. That's what Menakshi felt. We all have our opinions about our parents. I might say my father is a perfect father, but on the other hand, my sibling might say my father is not a perfect father. So everybody has a different perspective. Even the same family children will have a different perspective about their parents. So, and she also says that my father never failed to remind me of the curse. I'm stressing on the word curse because we will find out that this family was cursed. And so she says that my father never failed to remind me of this curse. And he said, because of Raja Janak and his ancestors, we are alive today. So we are indebted to Raja Janak Baba. So we should be fully at his service all the time. But he never gave the details to Menakshi. And that thing really bothered her, that her father never gave the details of the curse, but he kept on mentioning about the curse. Then she talks more about her father. She says that her father was very strict in nature, and he always lacked caring nature. He never showed love. That's another thing I have noticed in our Indian family, especially, that fathers never say to their daughters, especially, I love you, my child. Mothers will definitely say. And I have started telling my husband now that you should at least, we understand. My father never told me he loves me. He will say, he shows me the love. He will care for me. And he will, if I'm sick, my father has taken me to the hospitals. But men will never say in our Indian society, especially to the daughters, we love you, child. And so definitely going back to the story, Menakshi never felt that love. Yes, her father slept with her. He massaged her hair, caressed her because the mother is not there. But out of the word sentence, 3 words, I love you, my child, she never heard that from her father. And so she craved that love from her father. Aditi, on the other hand, was a house help that was there. And Aditi was a very old servant. And I did not introduce you to her in the beginning because she will be gone from our book named next couple chapters. So Aditi was a housemaid also, but Aditi treated her, Menakshi, as the daughter. Aditi loved her, and Menakshi, whatever she was missing as a mother's child, as a mother, the mother part that she was missing from her life, she got that attention from Aditi. So right about now, Menakshi is around about a 12-year-old child. And remember, my friends, that at that time, girls were married at a very early age. So one day, Aditi was cleaning Menakshi's room. And she told her father that, your daughter is so smart. Your daughter keeps her house, her room, her area, her section very clean. She will be a very good wife. As soon as Aditi said that, it was like a spark bomb blasted kind of a thing. And the father of Menakshi was very upset. No. She cannot get married, because if she gets married, and he stops right there. He doesn't say it. So as soon as the wife word came for his daughter, father just blasted, no, she cannot get married. So Menakshi says, what is wrong with me? Raja Janak always talks about inner beauty. Okay, I'm not very pretty. but I am very dark skinned. I have a mole that shows up on my cheeks in this very big mole, but I have a very nice, healthy, long hair. And remember this part, my friends, the mole and the hair. When Menakshi takes the rebirth, and Soma will recognize her from the mole and the hair. So that's why I keep on stressing about the mole. And I sometimes joke that I have a mole. So who knows? I have a mole right here. And who knows? I was a past life. I was Menakshi in some of the past lives. I don't know. So jokes apart. But yes, please remember the mole and the long hair. So a 12-year-old child has a complex that why cannot I marry her? Why cannot I find the love of my life? Why my father says I cannot get married? Every child, every girl's dream is to get married. And especially back then, education was not there. So obviously every child was born, especially a girl child was born. One day you'll have a husband, you'll have kids and all that. So now there's another thing that she's taking for her father, a kind of a hatred to start to develop. Why my dad thinks that I'm not pretty enough? I'm not suitable enough. Why will I not get married? So she's growing up thinking her father is not happy with her. Her father is very strict. Her father is not caring. And now on top of that, now my father also thinks that I'm not pretty. So now around about my character, Menakshi, is 15 years old. She saw one day her father was scrubbing the floor of the entire palace. She got very upset. Like, Dad, why you need to clean the floor when you have so many servants? Because her father was the head of the staff. So she thinks, okay, you're the head doesn't mean you're going to clean the rooms and everything. So she even complains to Aditi that why my dad is doing that. So Aditi said Raja Janak is having some special guest. And so one of the staff person called out. And so your dad thinks that he can do the job. So he's doing that. So she gets very upset, and she, sometimes when you're upset, you don't think what's coming out of your mouth. So Menakshi says, I know what I was going to say was going to cost me, but I didn't care. And as soon as she said it, she goes, why can't you find somebody else to do this job? Why do you have to do it yourself? And she said, I knew I was going to regret this sentence. And so next day, the father said, I found somebody new. So tomorrow onwards, you will be doing the job. You will be the mopping the floor. So again, Dad doesn't think that any job is low or high, right? But Menakshi thinks I'm a high Brahmin class family girl. Why should I be mopping the floor? So now another resentment against the father. So now she's been cleaning the floor 2 more years down. So approximately 17 years old she is now. And so one day she thinks that my dad is trying to punish me by making me the servant. But Dad was trying to teach her that no job is low. And she got into argument with her on this topic with her father. So you know how kids are when they're upset, they run off from the father. They don't want to see the parents. In our culture, our kids bang the door on us. They shut ourselves. And back then, there were no doors like that could be banged with the hinges, right? So our Menakshi runs into the forest. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm not going to see him. I'm going to go sit in the jungle. So almost the evening's falling down. The sun is going down. And so Aditi is looking for Menakshi. And so Dad sends Aditi to look after me. Go find Mar. So now he wants to yell at me more. That's what she's thinking. And so she gets up from one of the bushes to go deeper in the jungle. And Aditi sees her trying to move her status of hiding. Aditi yells, Menakshi, don't go. Menakshi, don't go. Your father is dead. And her heart stops right there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very emotional to this book. This is not the first time I'm reading the book. This is the 10th time. So this is the third big platform, but the other times I've read this book to relatives. So anytime this happens, I feel very low at sometimes. So anyway, so she says, Aditi says, Menakshi, don't run away. You need to come back to palace. Your father is gone. She is still, she comes down. She's not there with her father at the last minute. And it is very hard on her. So now she thinks that, now she is thinking that she is guilty of her father's death. She takes the guilt on her. She goes, I wish. Then she finds out how her father passed away. So basically that day, some roof was leaking, and the Raja Janak's staff member, which is Menakshi's father, is trying to get the roof fixed before the guests come. So he asked the guy, did you fix the roof? He says, yeah. So he was climbing the steps to monitor, to make sure the roof is fine. And he misses the step and he falls and he dies. So that's how the death happens. But she thinks, if I had not argued with my father might have a stable mind. My father might not have a stable mind. Awareness was not there for my father because I argued with my father. And that's why my father passed away. And so she's taking the guilt on her. So a lot of things has been adding on to Menakshi's character. And now she moves on her life. Her life is very sad now. No father, no siblings, and the father that she had, at least she had a father, whatever she had that situation, thinking about whatever status she gave her father, but father was there, but now there's no father. She's still mopping the floors. And even though Aditi says after a few years have passed to the father's death, she's still mopping the floors because she's thinking of herself as giving herself a punishment now. She still doesn't think her father was trying to teach her something, but now she's punishing herself to ease off the guilt that she carries on with her father's death. So she says that even though Aditi says, I'm getting old and I know you are very good in doing the kitchen work, why don't you come help me in the kitchen? But there was no realization for Menakshi. And so she just keeps on doing the mopping the floor. So that ends my chapter first. Just chapter 1 is ending here. I have a very short chapter, is chapter 2, which I will also read it. It won't take us long. And I'll like to save 10 minutes or so for open the floor for everyone if anybody has a question. So my chapter 2 starts with the arrival of Sita. Many years have gone by and the drought is hitting in Mithila. And it was said that forces are coming, negative forces are coming from other parts of the earth, and they were causing these disruptions. Raja Janak had taught this, and I would like to request to all of my friends to keep this in our minds, that anytime we have any hard time in our life, that is benefiting and that has coming us to teach us something good. We always learn a good lesson out of our difficult times. Yes, we forget this. When our difficult time is there, we forget that the difficult time is here to teach us a lesson, but we should always remember this. And this sentence is very important. And because when Love and Kush are also born, they will say the same sentence as if, it's been passed on from generation to generation through Sita Mata. So Janak Baba said the benefit that drought taught us, we learned the new ways of cultivating food. So the irrigation system that was introduced to us was from Janak's time, Raja Janak's time. So one day Raja Janak was meditating, a Devi appeared him. She said, use my water to nurture the crops. Raja Janak didn't understand. We didn't have ridges and furrows back then. So she taught, Devi guided how to dig ditches, which is ridges and furrows that we call in today's science. So the water can pass and flow through to the fields. That's what Devi's idea was. Menakshi, who is still narrating the story, she says this helped us for a few weeks, but the flow of river was getting weak due to the lack of rain. When people were hungry, Raja Janak and Sunaina Ma went on fasting. So Raja Janak and Sunaina Ma were parents to their kingdom. So one day the cook said, one couple came to the cook of the kitchen, Raja Janak's kitchen, and said, we are starving. We haven't eaten in days. So the cook said, I have only 2 plates left. One is for Janak Baba and one is for Sunaina Ma. I cannot give the food to you. If I give the food to you, then my king and the queen will go hungry. So he let go of that couple hungry. And when Raja Janak found out, he said, both of us will not eat food until each and every person of our kingdom is fed for. And he made sure to send the cook to find that couple, go feed that couple first. And never ever anybody should go out of our kitchen hungry. That's how our Janak Baba was. So far, Menakshi says we were self-sufficient people, but now we felt that we need help from other kingdoms. And who came for our help was Kosala, which was Ayodhya. King Dashrath came to help. Our Raja Janak was a very person with a very high morals, and he felt that he was begging in front of Raja Dashrath by getting the free food, free help, right, a kind of a thing. And he felt very embarrassed about that. But Raja Dashrath figured out that that's what's stopping him from seeking help. So Raja Dashrath said, why he gave him Raja Janak the idea. He didn't say, hey, you are begging the food from me or we are sharing the food. He didn't say like that. He knew that Raja Janak was feeling embarrassed. So Raja Dashrath said, I need a favor from you. So Raja Janak doesn't feel embarrassment. He said, Raja Janak, I need a favor from you. I have heard you have a great artisans, great people who do very good woodwork and stuff. Can you share your artisans, your people with us so they can take care of my Mithila, my Ayodhya as well? They can send some workers to us. So that kind of ease off Raja Janak's embarrassment. Okay, I'm taking food, but I am also providing some help to them. So that's how we sorted that drought problem for a while. And at this point, Menakshi says both the king and the queen were aging, but they had no heirs at that time. And people were still content. People had no worries that, okay, what is going to happen after Raja Janak passes away or leaves the body. But one time what happened was we heard the rumor that king is bringing many rishis for a special puja. And that puja is also for a girl child. Every king in back then wanted a boy. Nobody wanted a girl. And we all wondered why a girl? Why a daughter? Why does Raja Janak wants a daughter? But we had a faith in our Janak Baba. We had a faith in Sunaina Ma. We should always have faith in the universe. Universe is like Janak Baba and Sunaina Ma for us. And we only can have the faith when we have meditation powers. So please keep on meditating. That's my message to all of you. So, and then we did not interfere or ask questions from Janak Baba that why is he having all this big Mahapuja for a girl child. We all knew that his vision extended far beyond our kingdom. That's a very important point. And so one day, one of the saints came to Raja Janak and he said that we heard this rumor. Is this rumor true? So the king answered with a very nice answer that Janak Baba gave. He says, kingdoms will come and go. I'm worried about our mother earth. I have felt that a lot of negative energies are appearing, and that is causing the disturbance in this world. And so I feel that Shakti herself has to come to this earth to balance and create harmony on this earth. I need to call that Shakti. So I am going to do this Mahapuja. And so the meditation kept on going for days and days, and the Mahapuja kept on going for days and days. Some months have passed now. So Raja Dashrath was always Raja Janak was always in a habit. I'm getting up early in the morning, getting my rath ready, and I'm going to the hermitage. But that morning, after he got ready, he told Sunaina Ma, you're not coming with me. Sunaina Ma goes, no, you always go by yourself to the hermitages to meet the rishis, and I always stay back to take care of the palace needs. So Raja Janak said, won't you welcome your daughter? You don't want to come with me? And that, which mother would not want to do that? And it gives me chills. And Sunaina Ma goes, yes, I'm coming. And so Sunaina Ma gets ready and go. And they stopped the rath, their chariot, at a very place where the drought has been there for so long. And both sit down for the meditation. Raja Janak kept on meditating. Raja Janak was a big meditator, so he could go in the meditation in the deep, very fast. Sunaina Ma was the first one who heard the cry of a baby. And when she woke up Raja Janak out of the meditation, and Janak Baba, he picks up the child, and there were little animals surrounded by trying to welcome Sita Mata. We still not know her name, but we all know that was the Sita, right? So I get very excited. It reminds me of my daughter's birth. So Raja Janak picks up that child and says, this child has not come for me or Sunaina only. She will go beyond the kingdoms, extend the kingdoms, and she will bring the balance on the earth. And within the minutes, the rain started pouring. And Raja Janak holds the baby right to her heart. And Menakshi says that when they brought the baby to the palace, it felt like the whole world has changed. Our king had prayed and prayed for this child for so long that we can't remember. So then life keeps on moving for them. And one day Aditi comes to Menakshi and she says, your tapasya is over. You have done enough tapasya. Tapasya is a long meditative state. If somebody doesn't know what tapasya means, tapasya is staying off food and water for so many days and being in a meditative state for so long. Menakshi says tapasya is done by either kings because they want the sun or they want something, or the big rishis or sages, they do the tapasya because they want something from the gods. What kind of tapasya is I'm doing? I did nothing. I'm a mere servant. I'm a mere woman. So women sometimes forget their own power. So she doesn't understand that. So Aditi says, no, your hardship days are over and your grieving periods are over. For a few days, you will be serving Maharani. And then after that, you will have a promotion of some kind. So Aditi knows what kind of promotion she's talking about, but Menakshi doesn't know. Aditi one day says that, you should always trust your king. And, I agree that death of your father has shaken up you a lot, but now your time has changed. And so she says, you have already taken care of Raja Janak for so long. You have taken care of Sunaina Ma for so long. But she did not understand what part of commitment she was doing. And so Aditi says that one day I am getting very old and you should start working again in the kitchen. But she says, no, I don't want to work in the kitchen. I still want to keep on mopping the floors. Aditi left Menakshi thinking that recent change of heart. So finally, Aditi has made her realize what her father was trying to do with Menakshi. Her change one day when she woke up, she felt that shift in her. The attitude had shifted. And since this recent shift in her in her mind and body has happened, she felt that she was, the dad was not trying to punish her. Menakshi finally realized that he was trying to teach her a lesson. And another quality that Menakshi says that Raja Janak had always taught in his people was dignity. And he always valued that much dignity in his people. Simple people, their needs were always fulfilled. Old people were always cared for. Parents younger kids whose parents have passed away, Raja Janak always took care of those kids. And society was always in a harmony. And still Menakshi felt everybody was happy. Old people, kids with no parents, everybody's happy. Why I am so unfortunate? What was wrong with me? She was always in a pitiful situation. She always pitied herself. Everyone in society lived in accordance with the natural cycles. There was no thought of taking more from the world. But sometimes when we take more from the Mother Earth, there's always a explosion kind of a thing. There's always a negative energies that come in. That's what happened during the COVID. We have taken so much from our Mother Earth. We always forgot her. And that's what COVID happened, and on top of that, people have started hoarding stuff. And that's what Menakshi says. When we were hoarding stuff, we needed a place for one room, we had to take off 2 trees. We forget to plant more. Our ancestors had always taught us to plant more trees to take care of the Mother Earth. But this was, we were right now forgetting that. Gratitude to the earth was being forgotten at this time. And, but our ancestors always taught us to gratitude, but we were forgetting that gratitude. We forgot that Mother Earth was the one who was giving us the soil, gave us the food, honored us. We should respect her all the time. And the feelings were getting stronger, but we always remembered, sometimes we remembered that Mother Earth was so important to us, and we did give the gratitude. And people in our kingdom were very protective. Lot of places, other kingdoms, people were forgetting all that. But Mithila, on the other hand, we always gave gratitude to Mother Earth. And the drought that happened had always taught us a lesson that we should, be careful, be cautious, not ruin the Mother Earth the more. Because the more we ruin the Mother Earth, it's going to be, we will have no food for us at that point. And when all this was happening at that time, Sita Mata came in our lives. And when the king brought the daughter home, everybody felt that Shakti was born. And a rumor also kind of came in the society that she is a form of Shakti. And Raja Janak thought that it was best not to say anything. We named her Sita because Raja Janak had to dig her. So the first, the pointy part of the instrument, the thing that we digging thing that we have. So that part is called Sita, and that's why they named her Sita. So that's how our little Sita was born, and that's my chapter 2. I'm going to open the floor if you guys have any questions regarding the book, or if you feel that this book has affected you something, or if you have any suggestions for me, if I need any improvement, please, I'm open to the ideas. Thank you everyone for listening to me. And I hope I can do the justice to the book.
Thank you, Surbhi ma'am. It was really wonderful. I think most of us here, I think this is the first time for a few of our friends. Let us see if they have any questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead, Sushma ma'am.
Hello, Surbhi ma'am. It was a pleasure to hear this story. You did an awesome job. I don't have any question, but just I want to say thank you to you. And
thank you for listening.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for like what happens next. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Same here. This is Rama. Thank you so much, Surbhi, introducing me this book, and really now exciting. Like, oh, what is going to happen next? So yeah, we are so
thank
lucky.
you, Rama ma'am.
We are so lucky, having to listen this book, Surbhi. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, nothing is
thank
there,
you for
but
listening.
yeah, thank you so much, Surbhi ma'am. Yeah. everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we hear.
Veena-ji.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely.
Aruna-ji. Thank you,
Yeah,
MS.
yeah. One question here. One question from MS is, who is
Yes,
Soma that
Soma.
was mentioned here?
So Soma is not here in the in the story yet, because Soma comes into the life when Sita Mata is almost 12 years old. So Soma and Sita are same age, and so she will not enter our story until Sita Mata is around about 12 years. So in the next chapter, we will hear that how Menakshi becomes the nanny for Sita Mata. And so Menakshi is approximately 23 years old. And that's when Sita Mata is a baby. And so Menakshi is 23, so she's a lot older than Sita Mata. And Soma comes in their life when Sita Mata herself is 12 years old. And Soma has a very close connection with Sita Mata. She can easily read Mata's mind. And if Mata feels like craving sweets, she will have her halwa ready, her dessert ready for her. If Mata wants flowers for her puja, Soma is there for her. Soma was the person who was there until the last minute Sita Mata had left her body. Soma will become the grandmother of love and kush, the love that a grandmother gives to kids. That's the love Soma is going to provide. Soma waits for Sita Mata to come take her body. And she is the one who narrates the story to Menakshi next birth when she comes as Ansuya. Not the Rishi's wife Ansuya, but you know how we name our kids in the name of a Rishi or goddesses. That's how Ansuya was. And we will go in the backstory through Soma's mouth when she tells Menakshi's next birth.
Thank you, Surbhi ma'am.
It's
So
really interesting. Some I know, but some I really don't know. Yeah,
you will, Rama ma'am, you will find out about so many rishis, lady rishis. We all know whose wife and whose wife and whose wife and all that. But we don't know how herself that woman is powerful. These women that I learned about in this book, they can create galaxies by themselves. After their sons were killed, still they can create galaxies. And this is how powerful this book is.
Wow. We are so lucky, it means. Oh my God. I'm so thankful, Sushma and Surbhi ma'am, really.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, Veena ma'am. Veena ma'am, you can always listen to the, oh, you struck by the story. Sorry. I thought you stuck in the traffic. Yeah, thank you for listening. But if anybody missed any part, you can always listen to the YouTube.
Yeah, I'll share the link afterwards, Surbhi ma'am, so that you can share it with your group as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Vara sir. Yes, one of the feedback they've given, they want little slower pace, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I speak a little bit faster when I come in the mode. Please stop me or tell me to go slow. Thank you. I should have mentioned that before. I get very excited. I don't want to miss an opportunity. I go like a fast train. Even my father says, "You are not a Shatabdi Express." We are getting old. Talk slowly.
Yeah, excellent session, Surbhi ma'am, from Malati ma'am and Madhuri ma'am as well. Thank you, wonderful session. Vanaja ma'am said the same. Thank you, Surbhi ma'am. Chandana has said a great explanation, Surbhi ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, I think no questions as of now. Yes. Yeah, for us, I mean, most of us, I don't think they have gone through this book, ma'am. So it's like, yeah. So it's a new for them. So I have read this, but most of our friends here, it's new for them. So the characters and everything is quite very new for them. So any other questions, friends? Okay, yeah, another ma'am has also told here that it's a direct message for requesting for a slower pace.
Okay.
So,
I'm always open to the suggestions. I'll put a sticky note next time on a computer so I can remind myself.
Yes, yeah, thank you, Amit. Because like
We all
and-
need to correct ourselves. It's important because
yes.
this is not the last time I'm going to tell the story, because I want to take each and every experience. I take all my experience positively. So
Yes.
please, I'm always open to the idea. If you want me to repeat it, go slow, go fast, whatever. I want each and every participant to enjoy the story. I want you to feel as if you're there. Then that's only you will be able to connect to the story. There's no point me telling you the story and you guys are not able to connect to the story, not understanding the story. So that is not going to be good, right? It's wastage of your time, wastage of my time. I want to enjoy you guys to enjoy the story. So please, I really welcome all the opinions and suggestions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So it's really clear, like about the characters. You explained it in the beginning about who was it, so that we could connect to it easily instead of
Easily,
thinking
yes.
who it is. Yes.
Yes,
So you are
yes.
mentioning the characters before well in advance.
Yes.
So that, yeah, it's nice.
So Soma and Menakshi are keep on going to go. Menakshi will leave her body, and then her rebirth Ansuya will come, and until the end we will have Soma until the last 3 chapters, or like almost 20 chapters, or chapter 20 book. Soma will be there, and last 2-3 chapters there will be only Ansuya, which is the previous birth of Menakshi. So Rohana and Urmila, Rohana and Usha have a very small role. So their names will not be mentioned a lot, but they were one of the palace maids. And Usha and Rohana were mainly Urmila's maids, but they were they came to Ayodhya because Urmila and Sita got married. Urmila got married to Lakshman, Ramji's brother. So all 4 of them came. And Raja Janak always, they are always very loving to even to the maids. The way they send their daughters, that's how Urmila and Sitama, the way they send them, that's how Raja Janak and Sunanama also send them with gifts and everything to even the maids. Just a Kanyadan, that's how the girls are sent at the time of the wedding. That's how the Kanyadan was done even for the maids. They send them with love and respect. Yes, I will definitely do that when and where the characters will be, and I will keep on reminding and stressing on the key points, like the mole I mentioned. Remember the mole, remember the hair, remember that what Raja Janak said, that anything bad happens in our life, we should take a lesson. I will stress on the points that I did. That Love and Kush also will talk about this point. Anytime I will always go back in the story. So if you forget, because I have told the story to my 80-year-old Masi. Masi is mom's sister, and she would forget. Surbhi, what did you say in the 2 chapters down the road? So I would explain her, because I understand not everybody has the same level of understanding. And I respect that you guys ask questions. Please feel free to ask questions. I'm there 10 times, 100 times. I want this book to be cleared and as many people to hear about this book, because this book has given me so much energy, so much power. I want you guys to feel the same energy, same power. And I want to make it as simple as possible for everyone to understand this book. So if you feel that you have not understood a word, or I say a Hindi word that you're not able to understand, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, any other questions or feedbacks, Master? Thank you, Surbhi ma'am, for taking the feedback and reaffirming that you would be mentioning about the characters and about the way you want us to understand. Thank you so much.
If you guys want any other simpler way that you feel, I'm open to the suggestions. Surbhi, tell us this way, tell us that way. I'm open to any way, because I can always modify the story to make it simpler and understanding for everyone.
I I think that's also Surbhi ma'am. I think all the masters have mentioned here, whoever attended it. So yes, that's the only thing, the slower pace. That's it. Apart from that, I think everyone got connected to it. They're willing to get more connected. That's the reason they're asking to slow down. That's the only thing.
That's
Yes.
okay. I appreciate that. And trust me, this is not the first time. My sister-in-law has told me that. My father has told me that. But it's my journey, my speed. I have to learn to slow it down. And I have, ever since I came in meditation, trust me, I have slowed down a lot. Even before, I used to cut off my friend's conversation. Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to say this first. I used to say that. But now I have learned to listen to the other person now, and then, remember, because I would think if I don't say it now, I might forget. That's how my thing. And as I said, I am the package of my previous birth also. So, so I have apologized after coming to and in the meditation. I've apologized to those friends. I'm sorry I used to say like that, but I'm trying to avoid it. And if you feel that I'm cutting you off to tell you my point of views, you tell me, no, I want to tell the part first. So I have slowed down a lot ever since I came in meditation. And yes, that's the part I have to work on.
I think we're all good, ma'am. Yes. Everyone are enjoying. Yes. Okay. So can we end the session for here today, ma'am? For here?
Yes.
And we'll meet again next
Saturday.
at the
Thank
same
you
time.
everyone for listening, and thank you for your opinions and everything.